Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, if you want to support my brand, it's inspiredbydreams.shop. Okay, today's episode, another deep one. Today we're talking about, white content creators versus black content creators on just the difference in content, difference in pay. And before we get into this, I always like to keep you up to speed on how I think, and I figured this out a while back. I would say about 2 years back, and I knew that, look, if you value yourself and you have value in yourself, nobody can put a ceiling on your dreams in other ways. And you have to know what to bring online and what not to bring online. And I find myself holding a lot of great ideas back from YouTube, a lot of these platforms, because of this. And I'm just going to give you guys a couple keys so they won't mess with my channel or anything. But just a couple things to think about. And you'll have to learn it for yourself and break it down because it takes a while to understand. When it comes to the algorithm, it's all about, okay, in these times when people, they want ownership in your audience, meaning you bring the audience and they take control later on to sell to other people of your skin color, your craft, whatever you have going, and it becomes this piggy bank. But in the end, the only people that win are the ones that's really ownership or behind it. And it's a very hard trick to understand because when you're dealing with math and you're dealing with numbers, you know that there's a certain amount that you can pay people and it'll be just enough depending on what they bring. And a lot of people think, the algorithm, when you're dealing with AI and these are all the next things that's going to be bringing sales to these big companies, not humans anymore. So be very careful of what you put out, the things as far as like your creations, things that you want to invent or make. Try to keep that offline. I know it's bad. A lot of people, they want to tell the world what they can do, this and that, and how smart they are, this and that. But you have to be very careful around people you don't know because the algorithm is deeper than everything. So let's just jump into these conversations. And it's not a good thing or it's not a bad thing. It's just how the world works. That's the way I look at it. You got to learn how to be have a warrior mindset and know what people are going to do before they do it. And then when you get to these points, you have an understanding of it. But it's deep, and I hope you guys can have some understanding because you have to realize what could be a lot for one person could just be a little bit for another. And once you start breaking it down like that, you start doing the numbers, there is a cutoff switch. You guys pay attention and see if you get what I'm talking about. Let's get it.
Mickey made it. Mickey made what you made, Mickey.
Mickey made it.
Salute, Mickey. Grand rising to you.
Mickey made it. What's up, man? Salute.
Alright, I have some thoughts on black influencers being paid less than white influencers, and I think ultimately white influencers need to step up and they need to start being transparent about how much these brands are paying them. My qualifications to talk on this are based on getting people raises in real life, in the real jobs, not influencers. I don't have any brand deals. I don't make commission. I don't really know how that world works. My only monetizable content is the TikTok creator program. My qualifications are being hated by almost every boss that I've ever worked for, and I'm going to tell you why. Because not enough people are talking about their finances in the workplace. That is a federal protection. You cannot be fired for talking about how much you make in the workplace, regardless of how your employer tries to make you feel about it. Your employer is going to try and make you feel some type of way about it. And I know that this whole it's illegal thing, it doesn't stop places from firing you. I've been fired for this, but I truly think that it was worth it anyway to talk about these things because the people who are still there, they all know what everybody makes now. There is a very intense culture about talking about how much you make and talking about your finances being considered trashy for a very specific reason. And that is so that wage gap disparity can be further normalized among these employers. This isn't just happening to influencers. This is happening to every job that you can fucking think of. You see a man working there, chances are there's a woman that's doing the same job that's being paid less. You see a white woman working there, chances are there's a woman of color who is doing the same job who is being paid less. And you get around it by talking about your pay. Get everyone together together and you find out exactly how much people are making, how much they started on, when they get raises, how often they've gotten raises since they've been there, what they're currently making. And then when you find, because you will, that you are making significantly less than someone who has been there less time than you, is less qualified than you, whatever, then you can go to your employer with the data that you need to be paid your worth. Employers do not fucking like that. They are going to try and make you think you are doing something wrong. And I mean this so respectfully. What is a brand deal gonna do to you on the internet? White influencers need to start coming the fuck on here and being incredibly transparent about exactly what they are making. That our brothers and sisters in humanity who are making significantly less, who are trying to make ends meet for doing the same job that we're doing, probably, arguably, better, very frequently, so that they can go back to these brands with the data that they need to say, you are not paying me what I am worth. You either need to match this price that you are paying to these white influencers, or you are not going to work with me. That is truly one of the ways I think we are going to see tangible change here. So that's my challenge to white influencers. Tell us what you're making.
I did a brand deal one time, and this white kid did a brand deal one time, and he got paid 4 times as much as I got paid. And I didn't know, so I asked him, and he was like, what? That's how much they paid you? And I was like, yeah.
I remember we went to Coachella last year, and you see the white creators, and they're very like, you're drugged up, you're drunk, like, you don't take it seriously. Yeah. This is not a job for you. Like, you have so much opportunity that it doesn't matter what you do here at Coachella today. For us too, it does matter. It does. If I was drunk and disorderly here right now, I would not get another job. You know what I mean? So now I'm trying to act like I'm put together and as much as I want to drink all that drink, I'm gonna relax myself. You're still gonna get paid at the end of the day, and it's not like they're not getting paid like even 2,000 pounds, 3,000 pounds. That's all they're getting paid. That's all they're getting paid for every single content creator that I saw.
10K.
Thank you.
5 figures.
Yes, exactly.
Crazy.
And like we're putting in the work. You took dead ass took my idea. Like I talked to one white girl. She's a content creator. She has a lot more followers than I do, and she gets paid way more than I do. But she was like asking me questions about my makeup and how I do it, blase. And the next day does her makeup exactly like mine. Her video gets like 20 million views, and she's like, "This is how I do my eyeliner." And I was like, "Now if I punch you in the mouth, now if I just punch you, huh?
Are you crazy? And I didn't even tag you and say, "Oh, Instagram."
No, she straight took my. She even explained the eyeliner the way that I do my eyeliner. She explained it on her own face and said, "This is how I do my eyeliner." I should beat you up.
The reason why you guys don't have.
Okay, number one, I'm very protective of my investments, my ideas, just the people that's around, and just the things I even say on social media. You have to be smart about the things you do, and don't just blurt out everything and your whole dreams, this and that, because we're living in a time where people really can't think for themselves, you guys, and it's not an embarrassing time. It just is what it is. So you got to be the one to be smart enough to know, and that's why I don't really concentrate on the money like that, because the viewers are the main thing, the people that's going to keep the message going. And if you do have a message in your content, then that's a little bit different than selling a product that somebody from your own culture could take or somebody can from somebody else's culture can take and make a profit off of. You have a message, so the message will always travel throughout your people. So if they do take something from you, it'll be the correct thing to take.
The Black American female influencers is because you guys don't actually like us and think that we're interesting. You just want to take all the cute and fun and interesting things from us and copy it and then like resell it to all the other black content creators that are from like other areas, other countries. They are getting their shine because of us, because they're not like us. They look like us, but they're not us. So that's why people like them. They look like us, but they have a British accent. They look like us, but they're from a different country. It's so, I mean, it's like common sense.
This TikTok went viral of this guy talking about white creators and black creators and saying that white creators can be mediocre and still be successful and working and like getting all these big brand deals, and that like black creators have to do more and try harder and they can't just be mediocre.
So let's really get into it. I posted it on my spam page, but it kind of did some numbers over there, so now I feel like I should put it on my main. When are my black creators going to start supporting each other? Because it's getting to a point where the can literally be like, deuces, 17 million views. Y'all, what are we doing? I just feel like if we didn't support each other before, right now, especially with all this shit going on with Trump and all this going on, this is the perfect time for us to be supporting each other. Like, y'all saw how people was freaking out over TikTok being shut down. People were literally bawling tears. Me, myself, and I barely make a lot of money on here yet, but me, myself, was bawling tears. People are making $4,000, $5,000 per video. I saw a guy make $20,000 per video. And then it's like the creators that already have a platform, no hate, but it's like, I just feel like there's a lot of money to be made on this app, and I just want to see my colored people succeed in some type of way. Like, we could do, I be seeing these follow trains and all this and that, but none of my people videos going viral. What's the problem, y'all? Let's support each other. Let's really lock in. If y'all follow me, let me know in the comments. I will follow back. Like, engage from the bottom up. Like, that means share. Even if you don't share it, just click that button and close it back out. That way the app thinks you shared it. Then hit a comment. Make sure it's like at least 5 words long. That way that way the algorithm can actually know that you know you're actually engaging with this video. Then you want to like it. And if I'm talking too slow, I probably said it too late. I'm sorry, but just hit the 2 times at the top. You can hold on top of my profile picture, and it will speed the video up ×2. Y'all, let's engage. Let's get this money.
And I get paid less than her white clients. That I have more followers.
Okay, no, but can we talk about it? Tag me in, coach, because I have plenty of thoughts, and I want to talk about being a Black content creator on TikTok specifically. Okay. I don't know what happened, but something happened after I passed 500,000 followers. Something in my algorithm shifted to where I have less engagement and my followers see less of my content now than they did when I had a smaller platform. I'm closer to having 1 million followers, and I have some of the worst engagement rates I've ever had. Right now, I have a video on my profile that I just posted to 600,000 followers, sitting at 190 something views. That's it. Been up for over an hour. The algorithm itself is suppressing me from my platform. That is huge. That could create a lot of change in my life and in my pockets, and I can't even get to them. Now, let's talk about brand deals. I can't tell you last time I had one where I was paid 4 figures. Yeah. I had Amazon reach out to me, Amazon Prime reach out to me and want me to do one ad for a movie they were promoting. And a content creator that I know, she and I have double her follower count and double her engagement rates at that time. And she told me what she charged and they paid her. So I charged double. I was told immediately, no, that's too high and we'll find somebody else. Vanita talks about how, in another video, she talks about how she makes $20K per ad, which is the floor to her in comparison to what her peers make. That's my ceiling. I would love to make $20K on an ad. The most I've made on one ad is 5. Being a Black creator, let's talk about the creator program that I'm a part of, that I hate being a part of. I'm usually not a part of it because every time I join it, my views plummet. They don't want to pay how much my views would actually make me if they didn't suppress my views.
I feel like we need to tell each other how much we're getting paid from some of these brands. I'm starting to see brands reach out to me from the same campaign that some of my non-brown creators are a part of. And then I give them what my rate is. And then they say, we regret to inform you, yada, 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 whatever. And then I see someone on this same campaign with less followers who is not brown. And I'm like, I wonder how much they pay them. So I'm curious, how do you guys feel about disclosure?
Listen, I'm so over TikTok again.
For my brothers and sisters, when we figure this all out, trust me, you'll find more worth in yourself. And don't think that it's just, don't go out there and blame it on just white people or this and that. What it really has to do with our value within ourselves and be in control of the things we put out and the things we take in. Let's go.
They're suppressing my views again. And I think it's because I got a violation on one of my videos, I don't know what I did, but it literally was nothing. I tried to appeal it and it just said not available. And then I can't even do the little quiz thing where you can like take off violations. No, none of that is available to me. I am like so sick of this, like for real. I really think I'm just gonna move over to that other shorts app, to be honest with you, because they do not suppress my views because I'm black, first of all. If you have good content over there, you have good content. Like literally some of the videos that I post on here, the most 300-400. Sometimes I'll get over like 4,000 depending on the the day and what I'm posting. Over there almost immediately 4,000 views like within the first 10 minutes. Like what? I don't know. But my last video, literally 21 views. So I don't even know if it's going to the For You page. If you see it, then you're like very lucky to see it, because I don't know what the hell is going on, but I'm just I don't know. And it's weird because like videos like this, when people are complaining, especially black people, black girls, black women, these are the videos that get the most hits.
So I've been watching a lot of TikToks lately, and oftentimes, like throughout like these last 4 years that TikTok has gained a lot of traction, we've seen a lot of big black creators lose their main jobs because of their social impact on this platform. And I don't feel like this discourse is being had enough. And I think this is something that is very important to talk about, because, we'll see like our counterparts on this app that are creators or whatever talking about how they want to go back to getting a job and they want to get back to the life and just overall have the autonomy to feel like they're contributing to society and they're able to touch grass. It showcases a couple things. First off, it showcases the dichotomy and overall the like alternative realities that African Americans in comparison to our counterparts go through in corporate America and overall our experiences and our sense of belonging in these spaces in the first place. But it also goes into the privilege that like our counterparts have when their behaviors and their natural state of being is like deemed as like acceptable or like normal or like just overall more professional. Therefore, when you have black creators that are making like satire or skit dialogue or just overall talking about our experiences in corporate and relaying them back to our blackness, it's seen as like unpleasing and just overall doesn't align with the company's image. So we usually get let go or laid off. It's a shame that it has become this, because at the end of the day, there's so many people that work in corporate that have side hustles or have small businesses, etc. And the fact that like a lot of times we're seeing this happen in front of our eyes where these black creators are being laid off at a disproportionate rate and we're not calling it what it is getting a little old to me. Again, not all corporations care about people's social platform or overall their social footprint as long as it isn't bringing bad rep on the firm. But I do think it is just distasteful to see all these black creators being forced to choose between their passion, which is online content creation, and their day job.
It's terrible. And they're still being offered lowball rates compared to the white influencers they work with 24/7.
She is 100% right. The influencer space is probably one of the most racist spaces you can work in as a black or person of color influencer. It's super hard. It's super tough. And even if you change your niche, you're probably still not going to make as much money as your white counterparts. I know this for a fact because one, I am an influencer. I've been an influencer for the last 10 years, but also I worked for a big box social media company back in the day. If you don't know me, my name is Melissa, also known as Fab Glamp. You can find me all over the internet, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, I worked for a big company. And we did social media for one of the biggest mall brands in the nation. We were doing a Christmas campaign. I looked up our listing and I was like, yo, there's no black people, black influencers on this campaign. When I was looking at our listing of influencers for that particular campaign, I realized there weren't any black influencers on that campaign. So I asked my boss, hey, why aren't there any black influencers on this campaign? And he was like, oh, we didn't come across any. So I was like, well, where did you look? Because I know at least 3 off the top that fit the criteria, which was like, at the time, like 20,000 followers and this much engagement, blah, 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 blah. He was like, oh, you do? Can you send them to me? Of course I did, because I'm going to speak for my people. But also, I just wanted a more diverse campaign. You're creating a campaign for the mall. Like, everybody goes to the mall, not just white people. So why are there not any diverse voices for this campaign? He picked several people and he sent them their rate. Some of those people I knew. So I just asked them off record, how much was the rate? It was a quarter of what he had offered the other influencers. So I told those influencers off record, I said, hey, ask for more money. They were like, this is a pretty big amount. I was like, we got the money to pay you. Ask for more money. So the next meeting we had about this particular brand, this particular campaign, he was like, hey, all of the influencers of color are asking for more money. And I was like, no, he said all of the newly added to the list influencers are asking for more money. I said, is there a problem paying them? Because I'm looking at the list and other people have approved their compensation and their deliverables. What about these new people newly added to the list? Of course, he didn't say anything. He approved their ask. But if I wasn't in the room to promote that, what would have happened? And still on the other side, I'm an influencer and I still have to negotiate higher rates because I know for a fact that they do not be paying me what they pay the other girls.
So a moment of transparency. Being a Black creator on this app, it sucks. I remember growing up as a kid and my dad saying, you know, Anika, sometimes, if anything, all the time in this life as a Black person, as a Black woman, especially, you were going to have to work twice as hard to get a fraction, if half. You'd be lucky to get half of the reward. And for the most part, I think that conversation is a conversation that is had across all Black houses in America. Shit, probably the world at this point. A lot of other creators have noticed, Black creators have noticed that our videos only do well when we're doing certain things. Our videos either do well when we are looking our absolute worst with our bonnets on, if we're talking about controversial and hot topics, if we're acting in minstrelsy, essentially anything negative that is associated with Blackness, those are the videos that do well. And I put a lot of time and effort into the content that I create, just like so many other Black creators on this app. It's time consuming. It's a job. And it is so frustrating to see our white counterparts who are doing a fraction of the work that we do, who have a fraction of the following that we have twice, if not 10 times the kind of engagement that we do. I've been putting content out for a year. My channel grew quickly. And at one point I had about 10% engagement, which is standard. Like, that's solid. If anything, there was a period when I had even more than that. And then I started talking about things that affected me as a Black woman, and all of that changed. I remember at one point in my journey where I was like, you know what, if I reach just 10,000 followers, I'll be able to be a micro influencer like some of these other girlies on this app. I'll be able to make, you know, a decent chunk of change as a result of working with different brands and blah, 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 blah. And none of that has happened. And I have almost 118,000 followers at this point. I have had almost 5 major brands reach out to me to work with me, either because they wanted to utilize my content or they wanted to work with me for, you know, brand sponsorships. And the worst part is when these brands reach out to want to work with me, they want my labor and my content for free. Oh, we'll send you a free Wiggins in exchange for 2 to 3 videos. Oh, we'll send you a $50 coupon to do a haul for our website. Oh, we'll give you $500 for a global campaign for a commercial. $500. And it's hurtful the way that they play in our faces. And it doesn't really incentivize us continuing to do this because, again, it's like a job. We're working for free. There are so many things that I wanted to do with my page. I wanted to bring all of my knowledge about job searching, resume revision, interview tips, what to do when you're ready to transition out of your career. But I don't want to make a bunch of series like that take a lot of time and a lot of energy if no one else is going to be able to see it. And it's not that I don't love making videos for the sake of making videos for you guys. I just want to be given the opportunity to have the same kind of success as our white peers. That's it.
Hey guys, so this video is specifically for Black influencers, Black content creators. So I'm an influencer, whatever the case may be, and I've been working with this big brand since September of last year. And the agreement was to, you know, we can let you pick as many clothes as you want, just create content for it. Very easy. So in the beginning, of course, I'm like, yes, like free clothes, I would love to get that. But then the more you start creating content, like really good content, you start realizing like, you know what, I actually want to get paid. And then the tea is you find out that other influencers who are Caucasian are getting paid way more, have a lesser reach than you. So long story short, I asked the brand like, hey, you know, I would like to get paid now. I think I've been creating really, really decent content for you guys. And I influence the girls. Like, people always ask me what I'm wearing. I let them know like, oh, I'm wearing this, I'm wearing that. And their response was, oh, we don't have the budget. You don't have the budget? That's a lie. That's a fucking lie. And I'm just so over these brands trying to get over on just Black creatives in general. So yeah, I'm cutting ties with the brand. And then moving forward, if you don't want to pay me for the content, we don't need to do business, period.
Okay, what I could say is don't get discouraged by all of this stuff. just know and have a purpose for whatever you do, and you'll be all right. Now, when it comes to ideas and things like that, you have to protect the things that's valuable to you. Me, myself, like I always tell you guys, I keep a journal of ideas, and I'm actually working on getting a second book of them. And you have to understand, it doesn't really necessarily mean that you hold ideas back, or the things that really could make change. Those are the things that you're going to want to make your profit from, because if you just throw these things out into the air, somebody else is going to naturally want to take it and make something of it. It's just the way media is, and that's why I never get too worried about people as far as my own culture, because I know that there's a cap off. Regardless if they feel like that's a lot, it's still somebody with the same thing making more from another culture. So you have to make your content or whatever you're doing that much more than just being about making money. It's all about the message. Until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe, right?